Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Ask for Candy, 101 ways to make your life, your love, and your life sweeter. I am Candace Harper, love coach, and it is our pre-Valentine's episode number 3. Woo! 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 And back with me again is my friend Askia Farrell. We were talking about that before. Farrell.
Well, I'm Farrell when I'm the producer, but I'm Farrell when I'm writing.
So, I like that.
Yeah. So
and Farrell also means wild.
That's right.
So when you write, you get wild.
Absolutely.
You are listening to us on Armed Radio, hopefully on your TuneIn app, on whatever device you like to use, or maybe you're listening on the Garden, Armed Radio Global, or you are joining me here live on Facebook. Who's here? Pascal is here. Joe is here. Angela is here.
Coming fast. Nice.
The peeps are coming in, and it's good because let me tell you guys, we have so much show. Like, we have been producing this week.
Yep.
We have worked on some things. We got some things we want to talk about. I'm going to give you a little bit of a rundown. What we're going to do first is we're going to do a segment that we're calling the Guru Review.
Yep.
The Guru Review, where we actually...
I used to have a problem saying aluminum as a kid.
Aluminum.
Guru Review.
The Guru Review.
Yes.
We are actually going to take love coaches and love experts, relationship experts, and different, self-proclaimed gurus, unlike, a lot like myself. And we are just going to what Angela's saying. Candace, I so look forward to your lives. Oh, thank you, Angela. So radio people, because we're on Facebook Live, we're going to have people interacting with us and making comments. And don't think that I'm like, schizophrenic or anything. I'm just wanting to pay attention to the live people too.
As long as you don't answer yourself back, I heard.
Right?
Yeah,
well, that's why you're here, so that I don't look like a crazy person. Just answering by talking to myself. So we're going to do the Guru Review, where we're going to talk about different love experts, love coaches, and people who like to talk about love. And we're going to see if we feel like the principles and the distinctions and the things that they're talking about, if they make sense to us. Right. If they make sense to you. We want you guys to chime in. We want you guys to call in. That number is 1-800-508-5431. This is a conversation. This is an interaction. So it's not just about our opinion. We want to know your opinion too. Like, we'll play it for you. You'll get to hear what we're talking about, and we'll have a conversation. And we are going to play a game.
I'm scared already.
Right? I invented this game. It's called Know Me, Love Me. And it's going to be so much fun because it not only is a way for people to get to know each other better, but it also incorporates a money element. So love and money and like that dynamic and how that can kind of work together.
Go hand in hand, doesn't it?
It goes hand in hand, right? And it shows up in this game in like a really big way. I think you guys are going to love that. And then we're going to talk about things that we love, which are products that we want to plug, that we use, or that, friends of ours who have great things that they want to get out there. We're going to, introduce different things that we like and love and talk about that. Details, tell you how to get it. And then as always, I give you my 3 ways to make love and life sweeter. And then we'll say goodnight. So we got a lot to do.
A lot of show.
Right?
Yep.
We got a big list. We got a lot to do. We're going to launch into it. Now, our guru for this evening, for the Guru Review.
We're not going to talk about the St. Valentine layer we have.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Those of you who know me from my past career know that I am, I used to be art director. That's my old life.
Apparently, too.
Presently.
Yeah.
And you know what? It came out today. I was like, first of all, Valentine's Day is one of my favorite holidays. All you cynics out there who are like, oh, it's just a corporate holiday, Hallmark. Yeah. Like, I don't care. Because
but this puts you in the, if you're not in the Valentine's mood before you come into this place, you damn sure are now.
Hello,
So, yeah.
right? You got a little candlelight going. Got a whole Valentine's forest.
Really nice.
Have you ever been in a
Valentine's
forest?
It really is, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever been in this kind of atmosphere?
No.
For those of you who are listening on the radio, we have candles, we have roses,
rose petals, spindles. Name it, we got it.
Right?
Name it, we got it.
We're all about love and romance.
You do not short sell Valentine's Day.
Right? But it is Valentine's week. And I feel like, when it comes to holidays, I celebrate my birthday for the whole month.
Yeah.
Yeah, I normally celebrate for a whole month. And I feel like it's just, you stretch it out for as long as you can. Why not, right?
Why not?
We have the Happy Valentine's Day balloon for those of you who are listening and can't see. I did it up a little bit. I have a Dollar Tree near my house. Everything's $1.
Why not?
Why that.
$20 sold.
$20, yes, for a whole atmosphere. So now we're going to talk about today. Our guru for the Guru Review is a gentleman named Matthew Hussey, which I think is a kind of an unfortunate name for a love coach, but I actually really like him. Like, he has a ton of YouTube videos. He's very popular, especially with millennial young ladies, because he's a good-looking guy. He's probably like, I'd say mid-30s, late 30s, something like that. And, you know, he definitely...
British accent doesn't hurt.
British accent, you know, he definitely has a bit of a joie de vivre. And normally he has very good advice. Like, I like a lot of his advice. I like a lot of the things that he talks about.
It's mostly geared toward women, how to get men, correct?
Yes.
Most of his stuff.
His whole shtick is all about, like, women, how women can get men, or how women should behave with men, or, you know, what you do if you want to be in a relationship, how you hook him, how you catch him, how you keep him, how you
skin him and cook him.
Skin him and cook him and take him home to mama. So what I'm going to do, and I know it sounds crazy, I'm going to play this video over the mic so that you can actually hear him and hear what he's saying, hear what his principles are. Those of you who are on Facebook Live, I want you guys to feel free to comment while we're playing this. And then
I'd really like to get your feedback on this. This would be interesting.
Right? We're going to give feedback after. But those of you who are listening out in the listening-verse, you can call in after the video plays and also give us your opinion. We want to know what you guys think about his advice. All right, let's play a little bit of this.
There's a particular paradox I face in my everyday life. When I go out, there are sometimes people that come and talk to me. I'm not suggesting these people are people who know me or recognize me, just everyday people who come over to say hello. Especially if it's a woman, I always feel a particular sense of admiration, because I am always talking about how you should go and talk to people. You shouldn't be afraid of making the first move. But there is always a moment where my initial admiration turns to fear. Now, what am I afraid of? I'll give you a situation that literally happened to me last night. I was standing in a bar with a couple of friends, and two women who had initially seen us at the bar then came to talk to us when we were standing in another part of the venue. We had this moment with them of eye contact at the bar, so it didn't feel unnatural when they came over to talk to us. But there was a moment about 3 or 4 minutes in where it became apparent that they had no plans to leave that conversation anytime soon. In other words, if the three of us were standing there like this in this U shape, they completed the circle and stood there facing inwards and didn't alter their body language at all the whole time. You know when it feels like someone's hijacked your conversation, you were sort of really in the middle of something big and then they came in. Now that's not a problem, because of course every time you go and talk to someone socially, unless they're standing there in silence at that moment, you are going to be hijacking a conversation, and that's okay. The problem comes about when you show no willingness or predisposition to do your own thing at any point. And that was exactly what happened. So what first was this great, oh, there's new people coming to talk to us, turns into this thing of, are they ever going to leave? Or is this now it? Are we three in a relationship with these two people for the rest of the evening? Whenever we tell a story about ladies and it involves myself, everyone always wants to know what happened afterwards. That's always the thing that happens in a live seminar. So what happened?
Of course they do.
I will tell you at the end of this video. I'll tell you exactly what happened with these ladies at the end of this interaction. So stay tuned for that. But let's actually get to the lesson first. Ladies, I know this is daunting when a guy does this to you. When a guy comes over and you think, I am now stuck with this person. And of course, he's not alone. His two mates are standing there having a conversation between them, but they're not really having a conversation. They're looking over to see if he's doing a good job and they can go and join him. Oh, it's on. He needs me. Tag me in, Goose. You can't actually enjoy the interaction, even if you're attracted to him. I mean, that's the amazing thing. The worry, the fear that someone is not going to leave actually stops you being able to enjoy the interaction itself. Not to mention the fact that attraction is based on this kind of push-pull mechanism where you feel someone in your presence, but then maybe you feel them leave, or you at least feel them threatening to leave subconsciously. So there's always that feeling of wanting to keep them around. If they suddenly, from the get-go, even though you haven't really earned that level of attention, turn into you and don't show any signs of either looking around the room, talking to someone else at any point, you start to worry that this may be something that is going to be hard to walk away from. You never want to make someone feel like they have to make excuses in order to walk away from you and leave. I know some of you are thinking that what I mean is when you're standing talking to someone, you don't really pay them any attention. You look over their shoulder and isn't that rude? That's a horrible thing to do. Yes, I don't really mean that. You kind of want someone to come over to you and say something, but also behave in a way that suggests that unless you do something to keep them around, they won't be there forever. You have to be interesting and charismatic in order for me to want to stay. Oh. So how do you do this in practice? You might walk over there and start by saying hi, but not position your whole body facing them. So if this person is facing me here, I'm not going to suddenly turn in and start looking at them like this. I might position my body slightly turned away and just say something from here. Hi, how's it going? I noticed you over there. I might say something from that place. The second thing is don't be afraid 30 seconds in, a minute in, 2 minutes in, to turn back to your friend and start talking to your friend for a minute or two. You're not leaving the situation. You're not going to the other side of the bar. You're still standing there next to them. You have proximity, but you're talking to your friend again. So the guys are here. You'll then turn away talking to your friend and saying, oh, did I tell you about that thing the other day? And you keep talking to them for a little bit. The guys now standing here are aware of, A, the fact that you spoke to them and therefore it's okay for them to keep speaking to you. But B, they're not just going to have your 100% attention no matter what. They now have to be the ones to reinitiate. And this is a nice test, by the way, because you're now seeing if they actually are attracted.
I think we're good. I think we got it. I think we got it.
So that was our friend Matthew Hussey, who, to his credit, most of his videos are actually very informative if you are a young millennial woman who wants to catch a guy like Matthew Hussey. But what do you think? What's your initial take, Askia? And also those of you on Facebook, feel free to comment too.
I just feel that, any situation you go into, it's going to be chemistry plus situation, right? Mm-hmm. Like, he gives us the advice to talk to someone for 30 seconds up to a minute. What if this conversation is really good? It's like, oh, time's up. The person be like, what the hell is this? Yeah, 30 seconds. Like, what the hell is this weirdo? So, everything's chemistry. If you're having a great chemistry with someone, just rock it out for the night. I mean, there's no solid answers as far as I'm concerned. I think he gave some good advice about, as far as not hijacking conversation, as far as, you don't want to just like go if people up there, you see them having a serious conversation, you just go up there with your friends, hey, how you doing? And just stay there. Look, they were having a conversation, obviously you can just, but then again, it goes back to chemistry and situation. If the chemistry feels right, if they give you the right eye contact, the right movement, the right, body language, then it's all good.
Yeah.
What say you?
Well,
you obviously have a different take on what he was saying.
Here's what I really do. Because here's thing, and it's not that I invalidate any of the things you're saying. I think you're absolutely right. I think if chemistry's there, the conversation's just going to do its own thing. But I'm sort of like that in overall. Like, I feel like these people who give a lot of tips and tricks for how you're supposed to stand and hold your body and how long you're supposed to talk and all of that stuff, I think that it is confusing. I think that it takes away intuition. It like sets us up to try to be like these dating bots who are perfect for certain people, or trying to catch a particular kind of person. Right. And it's like how you date and how you start relationships is how your relationship will go. So if the way that you date and begin relationships is like with this sort of like practiced, this is how I know to behave because I know it will make you feel more attracted to me, then plan to do that for the rest of your relationship.
Be a robot, be a consistent robot for the relationship.
Like, plan to always like, I'm doing this right, perfect thing. I'm waiting this amount of time to call you. I'm waiting this amount of time to have sex with you. I'm going to talk to you on a Tuesday, but not 3 days later. These kinds of tips, and which he normally, he doesn't get that. Like there's certain videos he does kind of get a mesh in it.
Detail as far as the way.
Yes, like don't face head on. It's like, you know, we're in the wild or something because the male will be threatened. So if you face directly.
And not too much eye contact for too long.
Not too much eye contact.
Because then he'll charge you.
Exactly. And I honestly think that if you are out there and, you know, dating is what you're doing right now and you're living that single life where you would be in a bar and maybe you'd walk up to people, or, you know, maybe you're not that comfortable with walking up to people, what it comes down to is how like purely authentic can you be? And the onus is also on, like he was talking about how he was with his group of friends, right, and those girls, they came and they closed off their U shape. Yeah. And so now they're in the position of, you know, telling them, well, you know, we're done with the conversation. It's like, just be authentic.
Yeah.
Like,
sometimes you could join the conversation, depending on what you're talking about.
Absolutely. I mean, like from what he said, they let the women join, and then I guess, you know, maybe there was a lull or whatever, and then they decided, okay, so now we got to figure out, are these girls staying? Right. It's like, no, you don't have to figure that out. Just talk to them. Like, so what are you guys doing next? We're gonna do this. Yeah. We're gonna hang out some more. All right, well, have a good time. Like,
maybe we'll get back later or whatever. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Like if you want to end a conversation,
maybe the part where we exchange numbers, we're not gonna see each other later.
Yeah, exactly.
Fill it out.
If it's exchanging numbers, whatever. Like if you want to end a conversation, end a conversation. And for me, this video to me was very like, women, fix yourselves because I'm uncomfortable with this thing. And if you want a man like me, you got to make sure you fix yourself and behave a certain way so you can get me. And I think a lot of the girls who listen to him, and I say girls because I'm old enough to be their auntie, a lot of the girls that listen to him, they sort of take on this, like, how do I fix myself to get a man like this? So
now the English accent, whenever you hear someone speak with an English accent, I think you're predisposed to believe that they're automatically
credible.
I mean, you know what he's talking about. You can just say anything.
Right?
But he has that accent.
And he's a good looking guy. So I think, you know, here's my caution with single love coaches who are male and speak to women. And, you know, also the opposite way. Like I've always considered, people have said, oh, do you work with men? I think that there's a danger because when you are a love coach, it's really hard not to enmesh your personal life and, you know, how you coach and what you think and how you live your own life. But there's a danger in coaching people that you'd be attracted to, even if you're gay. It's like if you're coaching people that you would be attracted to, there's the danger of teaching them a behavior that's what you would find attractive. Right. It becomes very like, you know, how do you
cater to you?
Yeah.
This is what you need to do to get with me.
Exactly. And that's what I got from this video. Like he's telling these girls, if you want to do, meanwhile, he's single, like, and there's nothing wrong with being a single love coach. I am one myself, but he's basically telling them, this is how you get a guy like me, but nobody's getting like,
yeah, he's not getting
clearly these girls aren't getting him. So I guess they're not doing it right. So they have to figure out how to do it right. Whatever. I don't want to down Matthew Hussey because I do really like him, but I think that video deserved
a critique.
A critique.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Yay, that was the Guru review. Does anybody, like, I have some people, oh, Michelle, that's my sister. My sister joined. Oh, cool. Catherine, hi, kitty cat, and Nutty's there. Her name is Marionette. Her name is not actually Nutty, but I call her Nutty. We went to school together. And Brad Lacey.
So you can call her Nutty.
I can call her Nutty. So any of these people who are on Facebook Live, feel free to comment if you have any thoughts about the Matthew Hussey, you know, little audio that we just played. If you are out in the global radio world, or Radio Global in the garden, if you are on the TuneIn app and you want to call us, 1-800-508-5431. You can certainly call us and say whatever you need to say. I think, do you feel like you've said everything you need to say on Matthew Hussey?
Yeah, I think that was good. And then maybe we could do another one for this next week because that was the first video I've ever seen of this. So
yeah, I think we should switch it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like there's got to be somebody new. I mean, we could always check out his other stuff.
I'm sure there's tons.
Maybe give him a chance to redeem himself down the line.
Okay, we agree with this one. You said, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah,
down the line.
There's been other ones I agree with. Don't get me wrong, and he's very successful. Like, please, he's very successful. Nobody's, you know, I don't want to down his hustle. Mm-hmm. But
Hussey's
hustle. But just keep in mind, ladies, when you're listening to a man like this, that he has some good advice and it's all wonderful. Just make sure that it's not, you know, that kind of like, this is how you should behave because this is what I would be attracted to.
You're not gonna agree with everything everyone says anymore.
That is very true.
Pick out the parts that work for you.
That is very true, right? Like pick what works. Yay! So we did our first guru review. Woo!
Nice.
Now wait, that means we gotta throw some wristbands. Yay! It's
Woo!
Valentine's Land. It's very romantical. Okay, so are you ready to play the game?
No, but I'm playing anyway.
It's time to play the game. So, okay, the game which I invented. It's called Know Me, Love Me. And the whole point of the game is it's like a get to know you game, but there's also like a little bit of a money element. There's a little bit of a,
Scrooge McDuck with the gold coins.
Yes, we have our gold.
I always want to be
Our
Scrooge
gold
McDuck, counting
coins.
my coins all greedy at night before I go to sleep.
This is a game where you get to make coin or you get to lose coin, depending on how much you want to share yourself. Now, here are the rules of the game. Each person gets 3 minutes. You're going to put 3 minutes on your clock, right?
Yep.
Each person gets 3 minutes in which to ask as many questions from the question bowl, the love bucket, right? To ask as many, this is the bank with all the coins in it. Ask as many questions out of this bowl as you can, and like just pick them randomly. And the person that we're asking, obviously, the other person that's here, is going to decide whether they want to answer the question or they want to pass. And they're going to either say, love me, which is I'm not going to answer the question because
They were loving me a lot tonight. Love me.
Love me as I am. Or they're going to say, know me, which means they're going to answer the question. Now, if they say love me, that means they have to pay, what did we say, 3 coins?
3 coins.
3 coins to the other player. If they say know me and answer the question, that means that the bank pays them
8 coins.
a single coin.
Right. Okay.
Now, there's a twist, because there's always a twist. If you pick a reverse question and you're the questioner, that means that the answerer gets to ask you the question that's on the reverse. Now, if you pass, that means you got to pay them 5 coins. And if you answer the question, they got to pay you 5 coins.
Okay,
So if you're the asker, you don't want to get a reverse.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But they're juicy. I mean, like, we're going in with these questions.
I haven't seen any of them yet, so I don't know.
Are you ready?
I'm picking first.
Well, what do you want to do? You want to answer first? Or you want to be questioned first? Or you want to question
I'll
first?
answer. I'll pick.
You want to question first?
I'll answer it first.
You'll answer first.
Yes.
Okay, so then I pick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you picked the NA.
I pick. Yeah.
Uh-oh. I like the maniacal laughter.
Right? Oh wait, we got
Very
Kevin
free.
McKenzie. Hi, Kevin McKenzie just joined. So we're ready. Are we
Start.
ready to play this game? We're gonna hit start
All right, I'm starting.
and go. Okay, first question.
Love me.
Wait. Would you rather have the power to create or destroy, and why?
Oh, create. Always create.
Yeah, why?
Why? Because you're adding something to the world that wasn't already there.
Okay. All right, great. Awesome. So you get
Oh,
a
cool.
coin. Ooh, here's another one. Have you ever filed for bankruptcy?
No.
No.
Not yet.
Okay. All right, cool.
Chapter
Right.
11, I'll come to see you. yet.
Great. So you get a coin. All right. Actually, you take your coin. I'm going to trust you.
Okay.
Honor system. All right. What is the worst secret you ever found out about or were told?
Found out about or told.
Or were told the worst secret.
Oh, this is something recent. I don't know if this is the worst, but this is the first thing that comes to mind. Someone that I work with, which was, yeah, right, got to count it back. Someone I work with has been working with me for a couple of years, and they don't have the degree they said they were, and they're about to be found out. Yeah,
They're about to get caught.
they think they are.
All right, you get a coin.
And they're very afraid, as they should be.
Okay.
Because lying about your job nowadays with the internet, I don't understand people do. But anyway,
Yeah,
I
right?
digress.
Like you
Yeah.
can't get away with a single
No, this
lie.
is like 87 where I was a doctor.
Yeah. You're taking up your money making time.
Yes, I'm sorry.
What is one of your weirdest habits?
I used to eat toilet tissue. Just eat it. Just chew on it.
Really?
Yeah.
But would you actually swallow and digest it? Like, really?
No.
Wait,
Just
what's
chew.
Pascal say? You should copyright trademark this into an actual game. I'm going to do that, Pascal. I promise.
I just chew toilet tissue.
So, that's disgusting. What made you want to do that? I'm sorry. That was so judgmental.
Thank you, coach.
Share with me. What made you want to do that disgusting thing?
I don't know. Just a bad. This is a weird habit. You ask for weird habits, but we're just.
All right. You get a coin. All right. Do you have someone you need to forgive? If so, who?
Yeah, someone that passed, and we never really got past our beefed little situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, let it go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're gonna do that? You're gonna forgive?
Yeah.
All right. That was an extra question.
I like to.
All right. If you were gonna rap about your day, what would be the first 4 lines? Remember, you can always pass too, but you gotta pay. You gotta pay to pass.
Woke up regretting that I had to go to work.
That's your rhyme.
Feeling that I am just another jerk going in and getting this paper. Rather be home smoking the vapor. Oh, that's too much.
That was good though. You get 2 points for that. That was good.
Woo, I'll
good.
take the 2.
Where are we on time? Where are we doing? How are we doing?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is something you do just like one of your parents?
Chew my rice like my mother.
Do you?
Yes.
Chew your rice.
And rice specifically.
All right. See, you didn't pass any of them.
Wow.
I feel
Although
like
I should have with the toilet paper.
You should, yeah. That one we could have done without.
That's when you're a little too honest.
We could have done without that question. All right. So now it's my turn, right? Do you want me to follow the timer? You got the time and the questions. Okay. All right. Don't be cheating me.
I promise I will. Are you ready?
You want to try to get in as many as you can because you want to try to make money too. Like Okay.
Ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Go.
Do you have any older adult family members you need to forgive and why? As you have a sister online now.
Right? Well, definitely not my sister. I love and adore my sister. But I also feel like family forgiveness is like always an ongoing thing. Do I have any older adult? Yes, I do. I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay.
They know who they are.
Okay. That's fair.
But it's not my sister, so
Okay.
I get a coin, right?
Yes. You
Okay. All right.
Have you ever been caught using the wrong gender bathroom by someone of the bathroom's designated gender? If so, why were you there?
No, that's never happened.
I'm glad I
So I
got that.
answered. Why did that happen to you?
That's not my question. Is there anyone you would kill if it were legal? Ooh, nice one.
Anyone that I would kill if
it
it were legal?
Yeah.
Not these days, but probably if you would have asked me 5 years ago, I probably would have had a list of about 10 people.
Okay. Like Ari from Game of Thrones. You don't watch that.
He's got
Ari,
a list of people.
Yeah,
I know. I got to get caught up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If you were famous, for what would you want to be known?
Oh, I love that question.
That's a good question.
If I were famous, I would want to be known for my philanthropy, like how kind I am to people. I would want to be known for like having created major things like schools and things like that. Yeah, cool. Yeah. I get a coin. Yay.
That's a good one. That's very good. Very altruistic. Have you ever stolen something from someone you love? Ooh.
Whoa. You know what? I have.
You get the good ones.
It's been a long time, but when I was a kid, I used to and I didn't consider it stealing, but I used to always take all the change out of the bottom of my mom's purse.
I think we all did
Like,
that.
really?
Yeah, I think we all.
I definitely did that. And clothes. I had 2 sisters and my mom. So like stealing clothes and shoes like all the time. Yeah. Okay.
That's
Cool.
What is your most secret guilty pleasure?
Ooh.
Ooh. Secret and guilty.
Secret and guilty. I'd say porn, but I'm not that guilty about it.
Ding, ding, ding. And that wraps up our show, ladies and gentlemen.
No, my most secret and guilty pleasure is
No, you
like,
said it right the first
no,
time.
sugar and carbs. That's the guilty one. Like,
Okay.
I don't feel that guilty about
yeah,
porn.
yeah.
I feel guilty when I eat too much sugar.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I like what you think. Have you ever been in love and are you still in contact with that person? Oh.
I have been in love and I'm no longer in contact with that person, and it's absolutely for the best. Oh, Josephino. Josephino asks, what is your favorite type of restaurant for a romantic dinner? Ooh, well, Italian food is always romantic to me, for one thing. What else? I think sushi can be kind of romantic. Do you like sushi?
I love sushi. I think it's more the atmosphere than the food.
Thank you, Joe. I got a coin
good
for
question.
it. You get a coin too.
Yeah. Joe gets coin. Give Joe 2 coins.
Joe, you get 2 coins.
Wait.
What?
How old were you when you first had consensual sex and who was it with? Got that right in there?
Oh, you got that in.
Right.
All right, I'm going to answer. I was 19.
She's going to answer it.
I was 19, and it was with a guy that I went to a sorority formal with in college.
Okay.
It's my sophomore year in college. I won't say his name because there's just too many common Facebook friends going on
You haven't
here.
loved me once.
Right?
Wow.
That's the game. We got to count up our coins. We
Is it?
had our beginning 20. Neither
Okay.
one of us ended up having to pay.
Wow, that's interesting.
And we didn't get a reversal question. So how many did you get? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How did you get so many more?
Because I had the bag.
No,
it's.
Because I had the bag.
Well, how many more? You know,
Pascal, she said, "What and why do I not know?" Pascal, you know this. We'll have to talk, honey. You know this because you were around during that time.
Pascal wants the
So
dirt.
you know exactly who it is. You just don't remember. But trust me, we
I
got a lot of friends in common. I'll share it with
I think
you
I got like
offline.
6 or 7 actually.
6 or 7? I had 8.
Oh no, really?
That means I won. We didn't talk about what we're gonna win. What did we win? Not what you mentioned earlier. But what do we have to win something? So people on Facebook Live or people who want to call in, you have to give us some ideas for what would be a great prize for having won the game. Because if we make this a regular thing and we're doing this, then we're gonna wanna
until we have our macaroni and cheese bake-off. That's a whole other story.
Yeah, Pascal, stop putting my business on Facebook Live. So people who are listening on their TuneIn app or on in the garden. So I'm talking to the people on Facebook Live. They are making commentary. If you want to come and also be on Facebook Live, you can join. You can either add me as a friend. It's actually public right now. I shared it public, but also you can join my Facebook group, the Creative Love Collective. And I always, share the link to this live video, and you get the replay, and then you can watch it anytime, and you can actually see what we're doing after like hearing all of the shenanigans and the nonsense.
Shenanigans, like that word.
Yeah, right. Okay, that game was fun.
That was pretty cool.
We didn't get to any of the like super juicy.
You answered a couple juicy ones that I'm surprised you answered. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, like the sex one and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm still
the family, who you mad at your family. That's,
well, I wouldn't say that I'm mad at them, because you know what, I feel like it's like this. You can, because I think a lot of people feel like they have forgiven just because they don't feel the anger or the resentment anymore. Sometimes people are like, oh, I don't deal with them anymore. So, but I'm not mad, so I've forgiven them. So basically, you've cut them off emotionally. Yeah, but you're not resentful, so you feel like you're done. But I don't think you're done.
You don't deal with them anymore.
Yeah, I don't think you're done just because you don't deal with someone anymore. Like, I think cutting someone off emotionally because it's easier to just not deal with them is not forgiveness.
Yeah.
And I don't think that if someone doesn't work in your life, that you have to try to keep them in your life. But there's definitely people that, the process of like really being able to release the disappointment in them having failed your expectation takes more than just cutting them off.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that you then have to like be engaged with them all the time or anything like that. But forgiveness is a process. I mean, I actually coach it as an entire process. And people don't realize that when we haven't actually forgiven and we've just cut someone off emotionally, that we still carry around the weight of it, and the weight of whether it's residual resentment or it's just the thoughts about like, what is unresolved, what hasn't been cleared. Like,
meanwhile, this person is walking around free as a bird, not knowing that you can carry around this boulder on your back.
A lot of times, and we think, oh, well, because we feel this way that we're somehow punishing them because we've taken ourselves away from them, or we're taking care of ourselves because we're not dealing with this person anymore. But you're not really taking care of yourself.
Meanwhile, they're living life.
You haven't cleared it.
Yeah, they're living life, carefree, happy, and you're just.
Or they're also in the hell of their own making. Like there's been no clearance. Like anything's possible as far as where they're at. But Sean Bull, he's like, facts, right? It's so true. Sean used to work with in the day as an art director, and he's an awesome friend. He's also an Aquarius, and we're like, we see eye to eye on a lot of things.
Birds of a feather,
right?
What's up, Sean?
Oh, look, Pascal says this game should be in a marriage counselor's office, right? And also, I feel like it's a game that people should play when they're first getting to know each other. And, if they want to date, if you want to date somebody, you've been on a few dates, I want this to be that game.
We're going to copyright it before someone else on Facebook Live does.
Right? Well, okay, so I don't know how it works legally, but it's like we have it documented this is the first playing of the game.
Trademark.
I don't know what that means legally, but we're going to try to see how we can work that out. And Scotty Nevers just joined. What's up, Scotty? Hello. So,
nice crew. Nice
we got a nice little crew come in. So that game was fun. We're going to have to do that again. And now we can talk about the things we love, things that make life and love a little sweeter, things that, are our favorites, things we want to plug, friends of ours who can do great things. So if you're listening or if you are on Facebook Live and there's something that you create or write or perform or, you know, something that is yours that you're
that you
selling,
that
you sell on Etsy, that you craft, whatever. This is going to be our forum for the things that we personally want to plug and talk about. So you go ahead and you want to do yours first?
Yeah, I got one friend of mine, Rob Rosenthal, Short Order Dad, cookbook. One guy's guide to making food fun and hassle-free. I think it's poignant with this being Valentine's Day coming up.
Right.
You want to cook for your lady, or if you're a lady, you want your guy to cook for you. Hint. I think this is a great book. I'll just read the quick blurb over Amazon. I wish I had the book to bring. This is what happened. True story. I had the book to bring, but I took it out last night because I wanted to find this fish recipe that I want to make, and I left it on my nightstand. But anyway, great, beautiful, beautiful book. It seems like you almost eat the food off the pages.
Really?
I don't know who did the pictures, but it's great. There's a new kind of dad, and he's doing far more domestic duty than at any time in history, including cooking. Although it's written with a sense of humor, this book is a serious resource for dads and anyone else interested in upping their game to make great tasting food at home, even if they have never used a chef's knife or a roasting pan before. Short Order Dad covers all the essentials from shopping, ingredients, and cooking tools to appetizers, soups and salads, snacks, entrees, sauces and dressings, sides, desserts, cocktails, and more to make anyone a successful chef. So I can vouch for this book. I've had it for about 2 years.
Yeah.
And I would go for the peanut butter French toast.
Oh,
awesome.
That's
Awesome. Make your lady happy, guys.
Yeah.
Short Order Dad, you can get on Amazon. Rob Rosenthal is the author and cook.
And can I assume from the title that it's also that there's like a lot of like kids recipes and stuff in there too?
Yeah, it's family stuff.
That's awesome.
It's cooking for your lady. It's a romantic dinner. It's a take on pigs and blankets for the guys when you're hosting like a Super Bowl party, something like that. Awesome.
I love it.
Awesome. Something for everyone.
So all you dads out there, you Short Order dads.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's available on Amazon, you said.
Amazon.
Awesome.
Amazon.com.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
So now I am not nearly as prepared as Askia for the things that we love because I kind of just came up with the things I love. Yeah, Sean said, yes, dad's got to be a beast.
Absolutely.
That's right. You got to handle it all in this day and age.
Handle your business, Dad.
So my thing is a small t-shirt company that is run and designed by a friend of mine who is here on Facebook. His name is Joe Woods, and he doesn't even know that I'm plugging this, but it's called Beautifro. And he does these t-shirts. I wish I don't have one. I should probably get one so that I could really plug it. And they're so cute. He does t-shirts, bags, and shower curtains where they have girls with natural hair on the cover. And he does like different graphics. So it'll be like a girl with natural hair and a pic, and it's called Beautifro.
I love it.
It's so cute. Like it's really cool. It's like, it's part of the whole natural hair movement. And if you just search it on Facebook, I'm sure that his page will come up and you'll be able to buy their very affordable t-shirts. And he's got lots of colors and like I said, shower curtains.
I like the shower curtain idea.
Yeah, he has one. It's like this big shower curtain. I probably should have. Maybe I'll link to some images in the comments. But it's a big shower curtain, and it's just like a girl, like just her head with natural hair. And the way he does the graphics, like the colors are so use light and shadow. So it's not just it'll be like a two-tone. Like all of them are different kind of two-tone color pairings, and they're beautiful.
I gotta check that out.
Beautifro. Yes. So that's my thing that I love.
That's cool.
We're just doing so good with all. We're getting through these segments. All this stuff. I was worried because we did a lot of producing this week. We actually had a phone conversation where we made a list of the things that we wanted to do, and I was like,
fit all this.
We're not going to be able to fit it all in, but we are fitting it in. We're getting it in there.
Nice.
I love it. So, and what's going on Facebook? And also got to be an Uber driver. Dad's got to be a beast, and he's also got to be an Uber driver. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes the dads have to have. Oh, and my friend, if you're on Facebook Live, my friend Scotty actually found Beautifro on Etsy.
Good job, Scotty.
Yes, thank you, Scotty. Good looking out.
Producer.
Right? Coming in with the associate producing and shared the link. So if you guys want to check out Beautifro, the link is in the comment section of the Facebook Live.
I'll check it out myself when we get out of here.
Right? And when you're listening, because your girls would love it, I'm sure they would.
Yeah.
And if you're listening in on the radio and you want to come over to Facebook, come to the Facebook Live. Candace Harper is my, you can find my my profile and just come on into the live and, make comments and get that link to Beautifro. And I see that Lorraine and Sauda just joined. Hey, ladies, what's up, girls? Michael Ronan from back in the day. Michael Ronan was from back in those days We were talking about in the game. He was a friend of mine back then.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What's up, everybody? So now we're going to do the 3 ways to make your love and life sweeter, which I give every week. So, you know, the whole thing is that there's 101 ways, right? So we only have an hour each week. So I'm only giving you 3 every week. And when we run out, when we've done 101, we're going to come up with 101 more.
That's right.
Right?
It's like a game over the game, and come up with 100 more ways to make your life sweeter.
Absolutely. And we can discuss these. So the first one, and I came up with this week because I realized how much it does make life sweeter, is to this week take some time to respond. Meaning that if you're in a texting or you're in a conversation and someone says something that shocks, surprises, or angers you, learn to take a moment before you respond.
That is one of the greatest tips I've ever gotten. My old boss told me that years ago. My old manager, just like angry Twitter answered emails. He said, write the email back.
Yeah.
Go away. When you calm down, come back and see if that's what you really want to send. 9.5 out of 10 times that's not what you want to say.
Right?
You don't want to send it at all.
Yeah.
Or just maybe a one-liner, because that can get you in trouble.
Absolutely.
That's something that can come back to haunt you.
Absolutely.
Oof.
And I think too, it's a hard thing to do. I mean, I'm one of those people who's a quick responder.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Oh, she said what?
Like, what?
Yeah.
And it's like one of the hardest things to do, to like actually just take a breath, and sometimes even, and I like the idea of, because I wasn't even thinking that far, of like going ahead and just writing the response and not sending it yet.
Yeah. Sometimes it could just be cathartic just to write it.
Yeah, I get that.
You write it, you get it out, and then you press delete. Hopefully you don't accidentally hit send, but you hit delete and it's all done with. You saved the piece.
Yeah. No, that totally makes sense to me. Like that there would be a catharsis in that. I was just thinking in terms of like, sometimes it's just that we've misinterpreted what was said. And it's like, if you give yourself that moment to take some time to respond, you get an opportunity to get into a space where you can ask for clarity.
Right.
Because I think sometimes, someone, like, let's say it's a romantic partner or, a coworker or a friend or whatever, it can say something and it immediately feels hurtful or it triggers something and you just want to come back on it. But 9 times out of 10, what we perceived is not what they meant, and not what they were saying.
In text, a lot of times you can't get the emotions behind what someone was saying. So it could be totally something innocent, but you're reading it where your mind is at the time, and you could take it wherever way you're seeing it.
Totally.
Been there.
Right? Me too. And I say this as a practice. And I always say that all of this transformation stuff and making life sweeter, it's like a yoga practice. It's like you don't go in already like, oh, now I know this, so I'm going to be perfect with it. Right. It's like, just allow yourself a moment, find the moments where you can just take a little time before you respond.
Great advice.
Especially when you feel like heightened emotion triggered, even if it's happiness and excitement. Sometimes it's like, yay, but it's like, oh no, it really wasn't that. So I think we had a text exchange where I was like, oh, and you're like, no, it wasn't that.
I didn't mean to burst the bubble.
Right. It's like I got all excited for nothing. So yeah, that's number 1. Number 2 is kind of a big one. So number 2 tip to make love and life a little sweeter is to heal your parental wounds. Right? So if you're still mad, resentful, or harboring any sort of blame for your parents, it's time to start to try to find out how you can clear it up and forgiveness mode. Not meaning that whatever you're mad about, that it's not valid that you're mad about it. That's not what I'm saying. Like, I'm not invalidating your emotions or your feelings or whatever you might have gone through. And there's some shitty ass parents out there. There are some parents who have really messed their kids up in a big way. And as an adult, that can be a lot to deal with. But I say this because when we haven't healed our parental wounds, we are doomed to repeat their mistakes.
Sins of the father.
Right? And whether it's with our kids or just in our life, like in how we navigate our lives, it becomes, we're doing the exact same thing because we haven't recognized not only that our parents are human, because there's this high expectation with parents that they be something, right? There's this idea that they have to be whatever they have to be, that is some picture of perfect. But not only that they're human, but that also, that we're human. And if you can't forgive your parents, you can't forgive yourself.
And a lot of times too, like, you know, like I think back to when my mother was raising us. She raised us single-handedly, and she was a child. I mean, you know, you think back, like, you know, she was 30, it was like 25, 26, 27, like, and you think about the things that you mistakes you made at that age, and then she's dealing with children.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, if you think about it from an adult perspective, it makes things a little easier sometimes than just being an angry little kid. You can't stay an angry little kid forever. Sometimes you gotta think back. You gotta think about where they were at the time too when they were raising you. So
yeah, absolutely. And even when it's like, you know, some of us have you know, parents who are addicts, parents who didn't show up, you know, all of that stuff. It's like, you know, it's finding that space of release and forgiveness and just an understanding that you know, they're a human being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it goes back to your first point too. You mentioned also like about forgiveness and carrying around with you like a boulder. That's
a weight.
A hell of a weight to be carrying.
Absolutely.
All the time. Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's number 2. Possibility. And I'm not saying like forgive your parents before we come back next week and everybody should be fixed.
That's your homework.
Here's the homework. Look into it, explore it, let it enter into your thoughts, especially if you're someone who's like, I've cut them off for whatever reason, or if you're somebody who's like, I've cut off that part of my relationship, you know, with my mother or with my father. Explore the possibility, just the possibility that there is some forgiveness to be had, and there's a freedom on the other side of the release of whatever you're holding against them.
Right.
Yeah. So just exploration, you know, just feel it out a little bit. All right. So number 3, do something selfless. In other words, find something that you can do for someone where the only reward is knowing that you're doing something for someone else. Mm. Wherever you can do that, like look for that somewhere where you can just be of service in some way. And I know that that's like such a simple rudimentary, like you hear that all the time, but I honestly, like, it really does make life sweeter.
Really does.
You know, and if that's the only reason that you're doing it is to make life sweeter, it's worthwhile. Helping somebody out to make your life a little bit sweeter, it's worth it to do it.
My mother used to have this expression that she have in the Bible, like, don't let your left hand know what your right hand's doing. Like, you know, just do it.
Yeah.
You know, just don't
I never understood that phrase.
Oh, it's just like, you know, just you don't have to let everyone else know that you know what it means.
I really do. But what are you making? Like, what does it mean for you? Because I feel like that's
just like, even though your left hand and right hand should know each other, you don't have to know everything each one is doing.
Gotcha.
Like, you don't have to post it on Facebook.
Gotcha.
You know, you give someone $1, you don't have to let everyone know. Oh, by the way, again, just like,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
okay.
just like, just do it from the heart.
Yeah.
And when you do it from the heart, you don't have to blast it to everybody.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Because you see people just do it and put it on Facebook, and like it loses its value to me. It loses its weight.
Yeah, like, oh, today I fed a homeless person and I took him into my home.
That's still cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to toot your
own
horn.
We're not doing it for likes. We're not doing it for likes.
We're not doing it for likes. Yeah. The purpose of this exercise is to just, experience yourself with that kind of power, the power of contribution, the power to make a difference for somebody else. And doing that is just that.
It could be a kind word.
It could be a kind word.
It could be like, oh, you're nice today. Oh, thank you so much for something. It could be anything, just to uplift someone's spirit to make them feel better. You see the difference.
Absolutely.
Really
for some, it could just be being flexible with your time. Because a lot of times we're like very like, oh, well, I don't have time for this. I don't have time. And, even when you're trying to, arrange to meet up with someone, or someone wants to talk to you or something like that, just make yourself available, every now and then. It's just a good practice every now and then, just to do something for the sake of somebody else.
Absolutely.
And this is not coming from some sort of pious place. This is something that, like with everything, it's about practice, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you make a conscious decision to do something like that nice every day, that's where to start.
Right?
Yep.
Absolutely. So that's our 3 things to make life a little sweeter this week. Yeah, Sean Bowl says, spread love. Yes, honey. Spread love like peanut butter all over the place.
Spread love like Biggie says.
Right?
Spread love is the Brooklyn way.
It's true. It's good. So that's our I love that we are actually like efficiently working our way through these segments and just like
with crowd participation.
Right? I love it. Who joined? Lori Hines joined, Maria Queso joined, Vanessa Campos. These are all people that I love and adore who are fantastic. And I love that you're here. Thank you for being here. So then we have our sign-off question of the week. We're not signing off just yet. We still have a little more time, but I want to talk a little bit about, what we didn't do? We didn't talk about our answers to the question from last week.
Oh,
do you remember the question from last week?
What would you give up It was a giving up session.
It was, what did I let go of this week to okay, so this is the question. This is what we're going to start with. What did I let go of this week to make room for something better? So that was what our question was last week. What could I release so that I could make room for something better? So did you have anything that you released?
I think I answered that last week. It was
But did you do it?
Yeah.
This is the accountability.
Yeah. It was something that was already in the works anyway. Just a relationship to let go.
A relationship to let go?
Yeah.
Oh.
Relationship to let go, yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes, people mean well, but they aren't the best to have in your lives. So sometimes you have to let go of relationships.
Okay. So you did that this week?
It was in progress from last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Timing is
That's a
everything.
release. Yeah, I get that.
Yep.
All right. Oh, look at you.
I did my homework.
You did your homework.
Yeah.
I did mine too, because what I had been doing, it's like for a long time, as a coach, it's like you're building a business, you're working on it. I had like just a myriad of like side jobs and this and that and side hustles and whatever. And I always will have some level of side hustle because I like to do a lot of different things.
Right.
But what I did was I eliminated those things that I knew I was just doing them for money because I hated doing them.
Guilty.
Right?
Guilty.
I let them go. And here's what happened. I let them go to leave room for something else. And I got booked for a gig to do a presentation.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like a corporate presentation. I don't want to say the company yet until we like actually, finish the paperwork.
Yeah.
But I got booked to come in and do a presentation for, an audience of 60 to 80 people. Like a coaching presentation. And the income actually makes up for the things that I released. Isn't that crazy?
That's the way the universe works.
That's the way the universe works. So that was
wholeheartedly.
That was our task for this week. So you can still do that again this week. I'm going to give you another question for this week. But yeah, it's all about letting go of what doesn't work to make room for what does.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm very pleased. Yeah. Thank you. So our question for this week, and what I want you to take with you, is because it's Valentine's week. It goes back to
not Valentine's Day, mind you.
It's Valentine's week.
Right.
We're in the Valentine's forest. Welcome to the Valentinsia. So the only thing we're missing is wine. And I don't normally drink. We had talked about the possibility of maybe having cocktails while we do the show.
Next week.
But next week we'll do it.
Yeah.
I try to keep my drinking. I could save my drinking for the show and every now and then.
Yeah.
But this would have been a perfect time for wine. I have like nice bubble glasses next occasion. And we're gonna have St. Patrick's Day coming up. So we're gonna have a little.
Yeah, we'll start early, like the St. Patrick's celebration.
Right?
Yeah. 9 a.m.
You got to drink something, a little Magnus, a little Guinness, something. All right, so the sign-off question for this week is, what is the most loving thing I can do this Valentine's week? Whatever that means for you. What are you thinking? You got something on your mind?
Yeah, well, I like the idea we were just talking about before about just making sure you do something nice every day for one person.
Yeah.
Make a conscious effort to do it.
Okay.
Get it done.
So this week you're going to do something nice every day for one person?
Yeah.
That sounds right. That.
Okay. I like that.
I hold you accountable, right?
When you said it sounds so much better. I think I said that.
You did. So now you put your word on it, and that's what you're going to do. So what am I going to do? The most loving thing I can do this Valentine's week is what? Well, for one thing, I did start a 30-day yoga challenge. And I know, and this is going to sound like it's kind of a selfish thing, but I'm a big believer in self-care and how important it is to take care of yourself so that you can do for others. Yeah. Love for others. It's not something that I always did. It wasn't always in my sort of, framework, my focus to do things, when I'm not getting paid and things like that. Like now, I guess as I'm getting older, I've learned that there's a lot of value in going out of your way for other people. It just feels good, right? But one thing I do realize too, and that I had to learn, is that your self-care is first and foremost. Like you can't be running yourself ragged for other people and on other people's agenda. So I think for me, the loving thing that I'm going to do this Valentine's week is actually stick with this 30-day yoga practice, my accountability, because my back is already feeling better. I was having back problems last week.
You're a totally different person.
I'm a totally different person.
Last show, she couldn't even bend over or pick up nothing.
Right?
Yeah.
I was like in so much pain, and it affects everything. Like even when I'm with my little 6-year-old that I sometimes take care of, like it takes a lot of energy. You got to be like,
especially then.
right? You
Yeah.
got to have like physical ability, and walking back and forth and doing whatever you do when you're hanging out with kids, and just like day-to-day stuff, like being able to be out there and
Stuff you don't
helping
even think
people.
about.
Stuff you don't think about,
Yeah.
you take for granted.
Yeah.
And when you're in pain, you cannot do it. So
Yeah, absolutely.
the one thing that I'm definitely going to be so devoted to this Valentine's week is sticking with my 30-day yoga challenge, making sure that my back gets back to 100%. I'm well on my way. I'm like I said, I'm at like 80%, so that I can like get out there. And hey, Brandon joined us. He says, peace, love, and happiness. Right back at you, babe. So yeah, it's all about like, getting myself 100% and, so I can be out there spreading peace, love, and happiness.
Absolutely.
Like Brandon says.
Even when on your plane, you have to put your safety vest on first before you're able to help anyone else, right?
Yes.
Wake up.
And your oxygen mask. Oh,
Yep.
we just got our notice that we're almost out of here. I think that's what, our 30-second? I think that's our 30-second.
Yeah.
Our awesome producer, Jim, he keeps us on point. So until next time, never forget that you are a love machine. If you ever start to feel like you are not getting the love you need, just make more, honey. Because that's what we do as human beings.
Make more, honey.
Make more, honey. Is there anything you want to say, Askia?
Thanks for having me again for this week. Thanks for everyone that joined. Peace and love to everyone.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
Happy Valentine's Day.
The people on live, we're probably going to stay on live for another moment so I can say goodbye. But everybody who's on the radio, thank you so much for listening in. Don't forget to come to Candace Harper on Facebook and the Creative Love Collective and come and join us.
User
right.
left your channel.
That's it. Yay. All right, Facebook Live people. I love all you people who showed up. I don't know. Oh, thanks, Jim.
Thanks, John.
I love everybody who showed up. I just wanted to like give us a couple more minutes just to say hi, everybody. Make sure that we like responded to all the comments.
User left your channel.
And yes, a producer just left the channel. I see my cousin, KJ. What's up? Who else? Did we say hi? We said hi to everybody. All right. I love you guys. Thank you for listening in. And we will see you next week.
See you next week.
All right. Yay. Bye. Bye. Love you. Happy Valentine's. Oh, wait. I forgot this.
I think it's a spin.
All right. Bye, everybody.